Have you ever had that gut feeling? Something just doesn't feel right in your relationship? Maybe it's the way she avoids eye contact, or how her phone has become permanently glued to her hand. You know, those small changes that seem insignificant at first. But over time, you begin to wonder, is something going on behind my back? Well, you're not imagining things. Relationships are built on trust and emotional connection. And when those things begin to change, it's normal to question what's happening. Here's the reality. When someone is cheating, their behavior often starts to shift in noticeable ways. The tough part? These signs can be subtle, but with a bit of awareness, you can catch the red flags before they spiral into heartbreak. In today's video, I'll walk you through 7 key signs that might indicate a woman is being unfaithful. These aren't just about jumping to conclusions. They're about awareness and protecting yourself. By the end of this video, you'll be able to spot these signs early, approach the situation with confidence, and take the next steps to protect your peace of mind. So, whether you've been feeling suspicious for a while or are just here for a bit of insight, keep watching. This could change the way you look at your relationship. Sign 1. Emotional detachment. Let's start with one of the first and most telling changes in a relationship: emotional distance. This is often the first sign that something is shifting in the relationship. When a woman is emotionally distant, you might notice that she seems less interested in your day-to-day life, your thoughts, or your feelings. Think about it. When was the last time she really asked about your day? The last time she remembered the little details about your life? Emotional detachment isn't just about physical absence. It's about mental and emotional disengagement. If she seems disinterested in things that used to matter to her, like your accomplishments, challenges, or even your simple conversations, there could be a deeper issue. This doesn't always mean she's cheating, but it's a strong indication that her emotional energy is being directed elsewhere. If she's no longer initiating meaningful conversations or seems distracted when you're talking, it could be because her attention is focused on someone or something else. Consider this. If you used to share your dreams, hopes, and fears, and now she barely remembers the important things you've told her, this could point to a disconnect in the relationship, possibly caused by a third-party distraction. Sign 2. Changes in routine. Now let's talk about routines. People who are hiding something often have to adjust their daily habits to keep their secrets safe. If she's suddenly becoming less available, that could be a major sign something's up. Has she started working later than usual, or spending more time with friends you've never heard of before? Did she pick up a new hobby, one she didn't care about previously? These changes may seem innocent on the surface, but it's the inconsistencies that matter. If she's been transparent about her plans in the past, and now she's being vague or defensive about where she's been or who she's been with, it could indicate she's trying to cover something up. For example, if she says, "I was just out with Sarah," but then changes the subject quickly, or gives you a vague response, that's a red flag. The key here is consistency. If her once predictable schedule suddenly becomes erratic without explanation, or she avoids telling you about her whereabouts, that's something worth noting. Often people who are cheating adjust their routines to accommodate the time they spend with the other person, and those adjustments are usually not as innocent as they may seem. Sign 3. Increased secrecy with technology. Let's be real. We all carry our phones everywhere these days, and with the rise of social media, messaging apps, and photo sharing, phones are where many secrets are kept. So, if you notice a sudden shift in how she handles her phone, it's a sign to pay attention. Does she seem extra protective of her phone now? Does she take it with her everywhere, even to the bathroom? Or maybe she's locking her phone or changing her passcode, and suddenly refuses to let you glance at it when you're around. If this kind of behavior is new, it might indicate that she's hiding something, and more often than not, that something is an affair. Think about it. Has she suddenly become defensive when you ask her about her texts or social media? Does she seem agitated if you try to talk to her while she's on her phone? This might be a sign that there's a conversation or someone she doesn't want you to see. Here's the thing. It's not that she's entitled to privacy. Everyone deserves that. But when secrecy reaches new levels, it's time to ask questions. If she's acting differently with her phone than she did before, there's a reason, and it's worth paying attention to. Sign 4. A sudden focus on appearance. Let's talk about appearance. Has she suddenly become more focused on her appearance? Maybe she's dressing up more than usual, wearing new perfume, or spending extra time on her makeup or hair. While self-care and dressing well are always positive, a drastic change in how someone presents themselves could be a sign that they're trying to impress someone else. For example, has she started working out, posting gym selfies, or wearing clothes she never wore before? Maybe she's paying more attention to her looks in ways that seem out of character. When a woman suddenly starts looking better or making more effort to look attractive, and it's not for you, it's time to ask, who is she dressing up for? This isn't about being paranoid, it's about noticing patterns. People who are emotionally invested elsewhere often start investing more in their appearance as they try to catch the attention of a new person. Now, don't get me wrong, self-improvement is a wonderful thing. But when these changes happen in combination with other warning signs, it's worth asking, who is she trying to impress? Sign 5. Increased irritability or unnecessary criticism. When someone is cheating, they often project their guilt onto their partner. One of the ways this manifests is through irritability or unnecessary criticism. If she's suddenly snapping at you for things that didn't used to bother her, it might be her way of deflecting her guilt or shifting attention away from her own behavior. For instance, if she's criticizing things she once loved about you, maybe she's complaining about your habits or pointing out flaws she never cared about before, this could be a sign that she's feeling insecure or guilty about her own actions. By criticizing you, she can make herself feel better and create a false narrative where she's the victim in the relationship. Think about it. Does she seem overly critical of things that never bothered her before? Or does she accuse you of things that just don't make sense? These could be signs that she's trying to shift blame or justify her actions. Sometimes projecting guilt onto you is easier than confronting her own behavior, and it's a common tactic used by people who are emotionally disconnected or cheating. Sign 6. A decline or increase in physical intimacy. Now let's talk about intimacy, something that's often one of the first things to change when a relationship hits a rough patch. If there's a sudden decrease in physical affection, less touching, kissing, or even the simple things like holding hands, this can be a sign that emotional and physical attention is being diverted elsewhere. But what's even more interesting is when the opposite happens. Sometimes, a woman who is cheating might become overly affectionate to distract you or to cover up her emotional withdrawal. Maybe she's trying to win you back with a surge of affection, but you feel like something is still missing. Pay attention to changes in behavior, not just the absence of intimacy, but how intimacy shifts. If she's trying too hard to be affectionate, it could be a way to throw you off track. For instance, if she used to be comfortable cuddling or sitting close to you, but now seems to avoid physical contact, that's a sign of a shift in the relationship dynamic. Alternatively, if she's suddenly initiating more physical intimacy without the emotional connection to match, it's worth asking why. Sign 7. Trust your gut. Finally, let's talk about intuition. Sometimes you just know. You might not have all the evidence, but your gut is telling you something isn't right. Trust your instincts. They're not always wrong. Our brains pick up on subtle cues we often don't realize. Maybe you notice she's acting distant, avoiding eye contact, or acting differently in ways that don't feel like her usual self. If something feels off, don't dismiss it as paranoia. Trust yourself enough to investigate. If your intuition is telling you that something's wrong, it's important to follow that instinct. But do it with clarity and purpose. Approach the situation calmly and trust that your gut is pointing you in the right direction. Conclusion. Recognizing these signs isn't about jumping to conclusions. It's about empowering yourself with awareness. The sooner you notice these patterns, the sooner you can address them with your partner. Whether the signs point to infidelity or just a rough patch in your relationship, you deserve clarity. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay aware, stay empowered, and remember that trust and communication are key. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you